Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Wednesday topical video with us, the British Fist, trending worldwide at hashtag British Fist, also ka-ching. I am Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me, motionless, is NJ.
What's up?
Make sure you guys subscribe above as usual, like this video, and put your comments on what we're going to be talking about in this video down below.
Make sure you contact us in the links in the description box below.
Yes, and there's also a link down there to the British Fish Universe group, which if you want to be part of, we do discussions, videos in there and everything, so join that if you will, if you're friends of us on Facebook, which is also down there. Right, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about a couple of talking points in WWE that have really happened a lot recently. We've had two vignettes. And we've also had the returns of a couple of characters as well. You know, firstly, we're going to address the It Begins vignette. We've also got the Kane vignette. The delaying return of Brodus Clay and what he could offer to WWE. And the starting stories that Skip Sheffield could be on his way back to WWE and what he could offer.
And with the rest that we've listed, some of them will do great impact when they come back because they're stars like Taker, Kane, Jericho. They're all stars that'll be good to come back into the main event. The other two, they just need to rename themselves, come back and do whatever they need to do.
Yeah, so I think we'll start off with the biggest talking point, which has been this whole It Begins 2nd of January 2012 vignette. The vignette itself, a school kid talking about the second day and how, you know, it's going to be the end of the world or something like that. You know, there's been rumours that it could be Jericho. There's also been rumours that it could be Taker. Who are you thinking that it could be?
Well, with the reports I've read, Jericho's not interested in returning anytime soon. But he has had this talk in another report that he will do so between now and WrestleMania. Yeah. But to be honest, I'm thinking this is more leaning towards Taker.
Yeah, you see, I'm more leaning towards Jericho because I feel Jericho is the kind of guy that would try and throw people off by saying he's not going to come back, and he will eventually come back, so it's more of a surprise. I don't know. I think this, from what I've heard, this vignette is there for Jericho, but if Jericho doesn't sign because he's in the process, he's not officially signed for WWE yet, but if he doesn't sign for WWE, then it will be used for Undertaker. That's what I'm hearing at the moment. But I do feel with what's being said in this promo, it's got a very Jericho feel about it, with the school kid and the apocalyptic feel, and the whole, you know, reclaiming what is his, which is his best in the world, you know, characteristic from a guy, CM Punk maybe. I don't know, just thoughts.
Well, the way I see it, it's got this dark effect of, like, you know, the colour of the camera is all different. The swings, the visible girl in the background, all that led me to mysterious. So it's made me think, oh, it could be Taker. But when I see Taker come out from before WrestleMania, who knows? The
thing is, Taker has had hip problems. He's apparently in a state to return. And he does need to return at some point, whether it would be 2nd of January or further down the line. Do you think with his impending health that they would bring him back essentially before Royal Rumble? Because I feel that if they were going to do it, they would bring Taker back after Royal Rumble to set up a WrestleMania program. Personally, which is why I feel this may be Jericho. But again, this is just speculation. It could be someone else. We don't really know who it could be.
Well, these video packages have definitely got us talking, because obviously mysterious, the story behind it, how the video looks, definitely got us talking. So it's making us think either Jericho or Undertaker. That's the main question.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of those 2111 vignettes we got last year, wasn't it, for Taker? It was turned out to be Taker and Triple H both. So you think it's more likely to be Taker?
Well, at the minute, compared to Jericho's old returning video, it looks a bit different, a bit out of place for Jericho's character, so I'm thinking it'd probably be Taker coming back for his World Heavyweight Championship.
I personally feel it's Jericho. Jericho likes to reinvent himself, and this is the kind of thing which I feel could be associated with him. There are clues in there that could suggest that it is Chris Jericho. There are also clues in there that could suggest it's Undertaker. But the main thing is, it's getting people like us talking, and it's getting people like you guys out there talking as well. You can give us your thoughts in that comment section down below. But this, you know, could potentially lead to something good. It's keeping us guessing. It's making us look forward to the new year, because let's face it, not much with TLC coming up. There's not really much there to look forward to in the new year. No. It really isn't. Is there anything else you wanted to get off your chest about this?
All I can say is that it's definitely got us talking, and it's definitely a video package that looks good. When we first saw it, it was interesting, got people talk about it straight away, so they've done a really good job with this.
Yeah, because we really don't know who it is yet. We can guess, but we don't actually know. It's not quite as obvious as the 2111 one, which we kind of knew would be Undertaker.
True.
The next thing we'll talk about then is this video vignette, which is, obviously, because they've made it now, Kane, which is, they've had two of these vignettes now. The first one was very, very well done. The second one was made it a little bit more obvious that it was Kane that said that Kane was going to resurrect. And it's really, really asking this question now. Is he going to be coming back with the mask? Are they going to be bringing back the masked monster character?
Well, there's been talks like Kane might be close to retiring, and I'm thinking he's had problems with the mask in the past, so he does come back. It might be for just a short period of time. He'll probably come back with the mask and bring back the monster character for a while.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why he got rid of the mask was because of the breathing problems, I think, that he had with them. And you know what? To bring back Kane with the mask, at the moment, he's not really been booked as a monster. There have been certain times since he got rid of the mask that he's been booked like a monster. But I think you'll agree with me that he hasn't been booked very well as Kane, as what he should be, which is a monster. And I do feel this mask gimmick could maybe bring that back, even if it is against a guy like Mark Henry.
Well, the way I see it, they brought his character as a monster back when he had Paul Bearer by his side. As soon as Paul Bearer went, as soon as he lost the World Heavyweight Championship, his character slid back down and he's just stayed there. So to be honest, I think this comeback thing would be good for him, and hopefully when he comes back, he'll rise back to the top for a while.
Do you feel that he'll return maybe at TLC, or do you reckon it's more of a Royal Rumble return? You know, because we know that Mark Henry took him out. And if they're going down the logical route like they've done with Big Show, they'll have him come back and maybe go after Mark Henry after the World Heavyweight Championship, and he can be the next kind of filler feud going into WrestleMania if they're going to make Mark Henry keep the belt that long. Do you feel it's going to be a TLC return or a Royal Rumble return?
Well, the way it looks, they've already shown the video packages now. They've revealed it's Kane, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is TLC, because I don't see how they can push this on longer now, as they've already revealed it's Kane.
It would be good to see. I mean, SmackDown we've seen doesn't have the very big roster. Now, they're building up new stars, don't get me wrong, but a guy like Kane is kind of needed back, especially if they're going to carry on a logical build to Mark Henry's character and title reign in the main event scene. Bringing a Kane back, I think, would help. And having, you know, it would really create a new dimension in having Kane, this masked character, going up against Mark Henry, especially if Mark Henry can prevail. I'm not sure what this will do long term, but, you know, again, it's something interesting, it's something new, it's something that I could get behind. I'm not sure how long they're going to be doing it for, what they're going to do with it, but could do something good.
The main thing is, we need to make this whole Mark Henry title reign last longer so he can actually be called a champion before he retires. So I'm thinking he's finishing with Big Show, hopefully up to TLC, and who next better than Kane to fill him just a bit further towards WrestleMania. Yeah, and you know, it could, like I said, it could be an interesting thing. Maybe he won't return with the mask. Maybe this is all just another. Maybe this is all just you know, not a sham, but maybe this is just. Maybe he's not coming back with the mask. I'm just putting it out there. Maybe he's not coming out with the mask. I don't know. People automatically assume it is the mask, but maybe it's not about the mask. Maybe it's more about his character than the mask. That's true, because the video package did show the dark side again, the whole burning house and all that, so it was definitely interesting. And just like the Taker Jericho possible video package, this got people talking. Yes, there's some people that don't care if Kane comes back, but logically, if he comes back, it will help Mark Henry, it will help SmackDown, so I think, to be honest, having Kane back would do justice.
And it's nice that they're putting video vignettes behind the Kane character. I mean, they didn't do it at Big Show, but it's nice that they're actually bringing video packages back for the Kane character to make it look like a bigger deal when he comes back. Do you know what I mean? It's nice that they're reinforcing us with these video packages for the guy's return that could essentially be a main event player, even if it is short term.
That's pretty much it, yeah, because obviously we don't know what Kane's plan is for when he comes back. All we know is he's going to come back from Mark Henry. Then whatever next, what happens then? Yeah.
And if you guys have any thoughts on this, of course, get your thoughts on what you expect for Kane, or is he going to come back with a mask? Get your thoughts in the comment section. Like I said, we just want to get a discussion going here. So after those two vignettes, now we have two guys that are still. Well, we'll start with Brodus Clay first. Brodus Clay made his debut in WWE earlier this year when he was in. Of course, he was in NXT. He accompanied Alberto Del Rio a lot during the earlier part of the year, and then he went. And now WWE have had these video packages for him, and they said he was going to debut on Raw about 5-6 weeks ago. And I was really looking forward to this debut, and it just hasn't happened. And I'm wondering why. I feel Brodus Clay could offer a little bit to the Raw brand with his character and size.
Well, this goes back to the whole when Mark Henry retires thing. We do need a new monster or big guy to take his place. And Brodus Clay, the video packages have shown this guy who could quite easily come in and start building himself back up to maybe a higher place where he was before.
Yeah, and they don't just give video packages to anyone. You know, we've seen video packages for Brodus Clay, you know, fair amount of weeks now. And we're recording this on the Sunday, so we don't know whether he's actually going to be returning this episode of Raw or not. But at the moment, he still hasn't returned. And I do feel WWE have missed out on something very big here, especially going into Survivor Series with Christian's injury. I personally feel that he would have been a great guy if they were going to have a US title match. Instead of having Ziggler do double duty, have him in that 5-on-5. I really think that would have been a real good place to debut him. But I'm not sure what WWE got planned with him. But I do hope they have at least big plans for him, so at least they can see what they're going to get out of him.
Well, that's the way I look at it. They've had many times at the pay-per-view and after, they could have simply just made him come in, have his big debut, taken out the big guy on the champ at the time, made a good comeback. But to be honest, pushing it further and further, it's making us think, is it really going to be so much of a good impact if they've delayed it this long?
Yeah, and the reason it's been delayed, we know, is because of all those damn rewrites on Raw. But there's all these rewrites on Raw, you get people there, people here, and Brodus Clay has missed out now on many occasions. I do feel like WWE need to get this debut, or else it's just going to lose so much steam, and people, when he finally debuts, are just going to lose so much interest, because we've had all the interest, and the right time to do this was like before Survivor Series.
That's true. Not many people were behind Brodus Clay when he first came to WWE, but I think if they bring him back correctly, have him do something big in Justice, it will give him a big involvement, a big comeback, and build a good character for the WWE.
I mean, imagine if Brodus Clay comes back and goes after a Cena, or a guy like that. Imagine Brodus Clay going after John Cena. Just imagine how much impact that would make. Probably not going to happen, but imagine that. Imagine something like that, like similar to the Nexus thing. Brodus Clay decimating John Cena.
I think that would be good, but to be honest, I'm hoping maybe they could go back with Del Rio and help Del Rio try and get the title back, or just help him screw a match, whatever. Just something interesting to bring him back. He needs a big comeback.
Yeah, and so that's
Brodus Clay.
Pretty much all our thoughts on Brodus Clay. Let's hope he can come back and do something. Like I said, I do feel this guy could offer something, whether it's just as a massive heel or just offer something different for WWE, especially on the Raw brand, where we don't see that many big guys. We've got Big Show and Mark Henry now sort of on SmackDown. Kane's on SmackDown. There's not too many big guys. Carly's gone as well. So maybe this is the kind of refreshment the Raw roster could use. I reckon he'll be involved in a couple of squash matches or something first. I thought he was going to squash John Morrison. Then they had Miz do it. So, don't know what they're going to do, but I hope they do something good.
Well, we know what superstars, but what we've seen in video packages, he has done his squash part, but he needs to have the squash part on live TV.
Yeah.
So hopefully he'll come back, do a big comeback thing. As they don't have much ideas for him, have squash matches to build him back up.
Yeah, and see how the crowd react to him, because that'll be an important factor in whether they do actually bring him through to the roster. Right, so we've now done Brodus Clay. There have been recent news. Well, we've seen recently that on the 3rd of December 2011, Skip Sheffield returned at a Raw house show defeating Alex Riley. His name, they put in a trademark for the name Ryback, and it seems like they're going to be using the name Ryback. If you remember back in Nexus, Skip Sheffield was pretty much the second in command over Wade Barrett, wasn't he? Because Wade Barrett was the leader, and Skip Sheffield was this massive enforcer guy, and then he got injured. And this is finally his return. I do feel there is a place in WWE for him, especially he has that look which Vince McMahon loves the hell out of and would push in an instant.
Well, the question about this is that as his injury was so far back, he's a bit out of place now, so he can't come back and get revenge on anyone. He can't come back and take his rightful place in a group or faction anymore because that's gone. So he'd have to come back and do something to try and get his name going and get him back involved in some kind of storyline.
Yeah, I mean, with him coming back just recently, I do imagine they'll get him on Superstars. Maybe not have him on debut until next year, maybe. But we said this in our Future of WWE video, and we talked about guys like Skip Sheffield and Mason Ryan. They have that look which Vince McMahon loves, and they have that look which the WWE corporate machine can get behind. He's got the name Ryback. I'm not sure what do you think of the name, the Ryback name? I know it's kind of they're trying to make him sound tough, I guess.
I'm quite happy with Skip Sheffield because obviously he's the name that we've watched him in wrestling as. So to change it, yes, it may be giving him a whole new character, but to be honest, I was quite happy with Skip Sheffield.
Yeah, and I do feel Skip Sheffield could have that same impact like a Brodus Clay does, like either a monster heel, or maybe later down the road, like maybe Vince McMahon will repackage him as a monster face, like a Batista. Who really knows? It's kind of similar to what they're doing with Mason Ryan.
Again, not many people behind this because Skip Sheffield's not a fan favourite or top heel, so it's just someone that might do some justice if he comes back and get involved in the roster, but to get people behind him, it will take time, obviously.
Yeah, I just wonder whether they'll involve him on Raw or SmackDown. I think he's part of the Raw roster. I'm not entirely sure about that, but again, it could. It's a return which we will see, and I do expect WWE to put him on TV. I really do. I think. I mean, as much as he's not the greatest of technical wrestlers or anything like that, but he has that look, and he has that. I'm guessing he's got a good, decent wrestling style. If he was in Nexus, I remember in Nexus, he was doing like power moves and stuff, and enforcer type moves.
Well, all I can say is that obviously the way I look at this now is, I don't know. Skip Sheffield's been out for a while now, so to make him come back, they got to rebuild him because obviously he's been out too long now.
Yeah, and with the amount of money that WWE probably put behind him, they'll probably want some return on it. So they'll probably will trot him out there to see how the crowd react to him and stuff. So they will definitely put him out there. It's just a matter of when, in my opinion.
True, yeah.
Anything else you want to say? Any other returns or debuts you could think of off the top of your head?
No, that's it. We've spoke about the main ones, the ones that stand out, the ones that should come back and make a big impact when they do. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would try and mention some FCW guys, but I don't see any getting anywhere near TV in at least a year's time. So
well, there's a small one, but obviously the WWE have really lost the bell with him, and that is Colt Cabana.
Oh God, I don't even know where he is now.
To be honest, he had the contract to come into WWE.
I don't even know if he did or not.
What do they do with him? That's a big question.
He worked a dark match.
He could have been an interesting wrestler to bring in. He wouldn't have done it big as the ones we've just named, but I think, to be honest, they've dropped the ball with him.
Yeah, well, who knows what's going on with him? I mean, we don't know. I haven't heard any news on him, so I just think that's just a big. I don't have a clue. Unless you guys know out there, in which case, tell us, please. We have no idea what's going on with Colt Cabana. Right, so that's pretty much it. Those are the topics we've discussed today. The vignettes, the returns of Brodus Clay, possibly Skip Sheffield, Kane, Taker, Jericho. Again, if you have any thoughts on who these vignettes could be or what do you think they could lead to, or the Brodus Clay debut or Skip Sheffield, I still think, right, that Brodus Clay will debut this week on Raw and we'll look like a bunch of idiots here, even though we've told the YouTubers that we recorded this on Sunday.
Well, the big question is, like, to be honest, he's lacked week after week after week. Lamb is pretending to keep him out of the show. So to be honest, if he comes back Monday, thank goodness to him. He's actually done what he was meant to done weeks ago. Yeah, so like I said, get your thoughts on any of the things we talked about down in the comment section below. We just want to start some discussion here going with these 4 topics. That's pretty much it then for this Wednesday video. Tune in tomorrow for the TNA Impact Wrestling review, of course, and I'll let NJ finish off this video. Thank you very much, and this has been the returning video of the British Fist, which is Mr. Parkin and me, NJ. Thank you very much. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe above, like this video, and goodbye.